everybody. I'm just doing an update video. I know it's been a while since I've posted anything, but I was just doing an update. I've been trying to be more consistent with it, but I do the video and I don't actually upload it. This past weekend we did a half marathon in Divide, Colorado. It was actually pretty nice. Right now where I'm at is in right there. Over there, Shiprock. I don't know if you can see it. Right there. Right there, Shiprock. I'm kind of at the top of Red Valley, Arizona. It's very pretty. So it's like a nice little forest area. And then it's got a trail that goes down that way. But I was just doing my update video to kind of keep you guys updated on what's been going on. We did the Shiprock Marathon, so about a month ago, at the beginning of the month. Yeah, at the beginning of the month. We did the Shiprock Marathon, so we suffered over there for about 13 miles. And then the recent one was about 14 miles. The HPRS, the Human Potential Running Series, they kind of guesstimate their mileage. So it was about 14 miles. So it was fine. It was whatever. We kind of ran into a pickle with that one. So let me start with with our Shiprock team, we only had 4. The last person wasn't able to afford the entry fee, which kind of sucked because they literally waited until the week of to be like, hey, I can't really afford it, and basically asked if we could pitch in. And it was like, 1, this is really late. 2, the squirrel throwing stuff. And 2, it was like, how are we going to pitch in and do this for you? How are you going to pay for it? I mean, it was a little bit frustrating, but it's whatever. I mean, if they had let us know sooner, we could have made way for it, but I think it was one of those things where they made an excuse so they didn't have to do it, which honestly, I would have preferred honesty. Like, hey, I'm really scared. I don't really want to do this. What if I die? Like, all the legit feelings that people have when it comes to running a long distance. Like when we first did our first 5K, it was like, oh, what if we're the last ones? What if people boo us? What if I fall and I break my leg, or like some freak accident happens and I get run over by like a clown car? Or just your mind goes to crazy places and you're thinking of all these silly crazy things of what could happen, and a lot of it's not even with the realm of possibility. For the half marathon, it's a lot. I mean, it gets to that point where people are like, oh my gosh, that's the longest distance ever. I can't imagine you doing that. And it's like, you do it once, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that. You do it twice, it's like, I'm capable. I feel better than the last time I did this. And then the more times you do it, you just get into that motion where you're like, mile 4, fine. Mile 6, I mean, mile 10, I'm almost done. And then mile 11, you're like, it's feeling okay. I'm starting to hurt a little bit. And then 13, you're like, well, I could have done a lot of things better, but it's okay. I survived. The more you do it, you're like, I know I'm capable. I know that it's doable. I know what I'm capable of doing. And it may suck, it may physically hurt, but I'm capable of doing it. That's why it was kind of funny that we did a half marathon within 2 weeks, because the first time we did a half marathon, we were wiped. We went back to the hotel and we fell asleep for like a whole day, and we only woke up to eat, and then we fell back asleep. We were so tired. But this last one, it went okay. I kind of got ready. I took a shower, then I went to work, and I worked, and then the next day I took the day off, but it was the plan to go to work. I think I kind of overestimated myself because I didn't want to, because I was working at 2 jobs, so I didn't want to overdo it. But yeah, the most recent one, the HPRS, that one was really pretty. I'll post some pictures of what it looks like. It was kind of like this, like the way everything kind of looks with all the trees and stuff, and obviously, but it was like you were just out there, and then the mountain was like right there with the snow on it. It was really beautiful. It really sucked because it was like really steep elevation. So we went up, I want to say it was like 10,000 feet, and then we climbed up and then went down. For the first 2 miles, it was like a steep hill, and then down, and you're like, oh, well, I hope that's the worst of it. And then it just kept progressively getting worse. And the last 6 miles sucked the most because it was, so the first one was like a steep incline and it went down. And then when you come, so it was 3 loops. It was 3 loops that you went out and did. The first loop, so in order for it to count for you to get the mileage, you had to go through the first loop and meet back up at the base camp. And going back to the base camp was like a really steep hill that the first time we did it, we were just like gasping for air because we're not from that elevation. And the second time we did it, on the second loop, it wasn't as bad. On the third loop, oh my gosh, I think it was just because we're like, we're gonna be done, it's gonna be done. So we finished that loop and it was fine. But we thankfully took a little bit of a break in between each one, just because we didn't want to overdo it. Mostly it was to have fun. That race series, the Endure, that one's more about like the scenery, so kind of like looking around and kind of looking at some of the stuff. It was kind of nice because Jose like walked with me. Well, he kind of, I kept pace with him, so we were at the same, usually we're not at the same pace, so I'm like usually by myself. Either way, it was fine, but I guess I like overestimated or underestimated what I would need. And so I had just gotten off work. I worked a night shift, and then we got back to the house, and then we were supposed to pack all of our stuff and then go. So I like slept on the car ride home, and then we immediately left after that. So I actually forgot my shoes because I'm used to getting in the car and getting into like my comfortable shoes, which are these dudes. So my comfortable shoes, which I usually wear when we're just like traveling in between places. So I was wearing my Crocs, and I didn't realize that until we drove about 7 hours to get there. And then we get there, and it's like, oh, okay, well, we're gonna unload the stuff, we're gonna set up everything in the back so we can camp in the van. And then I was like, I need to get my stuff ready for tomorrow. And I was like, I forgot my shoes. And then Jose was kind enough to suffer with me, so he wore his Crocs too. So we did the whole half marathon in our Crocs, which is a pretty cool flex. I mean, how many people do you know can say they did a half marathon in Crocs? I mean, it was fine. For him, it sucked because I don't know, I guess his feet were sliding a little bit more than mine. Mine did fine because I'm used to wearing my Crocs for like 12-hour shifts, and I usually just kind of, I guess I'm used to just being in them. So I did fine. We just put it in sports mode and we just trucked through it. We actually did it in pretty good time. And we kind of got to hang out, talk to some people. There was one lady that we spent a long time talking to. She was finishing up her last loop of the marathon, and we like ran into her on the trail. She was wearing a Aztec Trails hat, and for those of you that know, that's near where we're from. It was like Aztec ruins, and we were really talking about where she's been and all these different trails that she's been at, and it was a long conversation. We're like, well, we better let you get to it. So it was nice. You got to meet a lot of new people. We got to see some people that we've met over time, and I guess for next time we know what to pack and how to be more prepared. So it's kind of weird doing 2 races that close together, but in a way it kind of prepares us because we know what we need. We kind of know what works for us, because for me, I just kept my water pack on the whole time because there was one aid station every time we completed our loop. So I didn't really have to fill up water. I didn't have to worry about being dehydrated because I had my water pack, and I just took a goo every, I want to say 3 or 4 songs, and it was nice. And then it sucked because at one point my Spotify like completely turned off, so I was just listening to audiobooks, which helped. It motivated me a lot. And I guess that's my short, simple update on what's been going on. But same thing, our goal is still to do the 100-mile. It's in September. It's getting closer. I do feel a lot better in terms of our fitness. We haven't been doing really intense stuff like we did in Washington. In Washington, we were doing like regular fitness exercise stuff, but the only thing that sucked about there was the elevation. It sucked going from sea level all the way to like 10,000 feet. Versus here, where I think we're at, right here, where I'm at on this hill, is 8,000 feet. But where we're at, where we're actually from, is way past here, way over there. So it's about 7,000, 6,000. So where we're actually going to be doing that race is about, I want to say 10,000. I don't know the number off the top of my head, but it's quite a distance, and it's a ridiculous climb. I heard it's one of the hardest races that they have at HPRS. So it's daunting, but our goal is to just work on the conditioning, getting used to hiking, even in, I guess, unplanned footwear, and just getting used to overcoming challenges as they come. I know that sounds all cheeseball, but it's one of those things where as long as we stay positive and keep that can-do attitude, then it's possible. It's possible. Versus those people who are like, oh, I can't do it because I don't have the right shoes, and oh, I was gonna wear these socks, I was gonna do this, I was gonna do that. And honestly, as long as you get out there and make it happen, it really doesn't matter what you're wearing. The trail doesn't care. Your Strava doesn't care. Sometimes it tracks like what you're wearing, but it really doesn't matter as long as you're getting out there and doing it. I always wear the same thing, my fanny pack, my water pack, and I know it's a lot more strain on me to be carrying 15 pounds of extra stuff on me, but I'd rather train with it and get used to carrying all that around instead of just doing everything without it and then getting to the point where on race day I'm just wrecked because I didn't train the way I'm planning on doing it. But yeah, thank you for looking at this update. I know it's kind of ridiculously long. There's these cars zooming around in the back, but I forgot to do it there because I was tired. We were tired. We were trying to do some stuff at the end of the race, doing errands and stuff inside Colorado, so didn't actually get around to doing the update. I had to go to work, all this stuff. But this is my day off, and this is where we decided to come. We came to the mountain. We are mostly just waddling around here. We're not really running or doing anything because it's technically my recovery period, so we can't really do anything too strenuous. I'm mostly just seeking for the 10,000 steps every day, and as long as I'm doing that, then at least as long as I'm doing that on my rest days, then I should be in good shape, because I'm gonna gradually move on from there. And it's kind of silly because I'm using Pokemon Go to keep track of me meeting my kilometer goal, because 50 kilometers per week is what I'm aiming for. I've missed it by a few, but that's my goal. Thank you for tuning in. Again, this is like the third, fourth, whatever goodbye, but again, like, subscribe, what have you. Hope you like this beautiful scenery, beautiful sounds. Yeah, have a good day.
Sorry, not loco, guapo.